Okay, so what we have is we got a Varvel gear reducer, and it didn't come assembled with the motor. So the motor's coming like this with this long key, and this was the coupling kit that they send. This is a 56C flange motor adapter. So it comes in a bag. You got your 4 bolts, and you get these 2 pieces. Okay, so this key, I'll tell you right now, is too long. So you need to get rid of this key. Just put it to the side. This key that comes with this bag, you can see in this coupling, the keyway doesn't go all the way through. So it's important to understand that. So we're going to take this the bushing off, the coupling off. We're going to put this together here. We're going to slightly snug it up. Okay, so it just slides a little bit more, because what we're going to do is we're going to mate the 2 gearboxes and motors together. That should be okay. So we don't have this coupling on, so you can see in here how that looks. We're going to time this up so it's going to drop in the empty spot. Careful not to bump it. We're going to make sure it's seated here. Okay, we're going to pull it off. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this twice. We're going to mark how far back this is going. So right here and right here. Okay, so I'm going to push it forward again, and I'm going to do this one more time. Okay, so that's why we're doing this again, because we didn't get the same exact spot. So I'm going to mark this. Push it forward. Okay. Right here. So I didn't have it sticking out far enough. You really want to make sure it's seated right here. Pop this off. So from our line, we're going to go back 1/8 of an inch, and that'll help any clearance that you can see. The black bushing is a little bit further ahead than the aluminum, so it'll take up all of that, as well as give us maybe a 1/16 of an inch worth of clearance for thermal expansion. The thing to mention is the key. Sometimes if you're moving it around, make sure that key hasn't shifted back. So I just had to push that forward a little tad. But other than that, that's the important thing. Take your time, make sure this isn't sitting on the front face of this, and the couplings aren't creating internal stress. Question came up, how much do you want the coupling to be engaged? And in theory, you want it as much as possible, but the coupling's about 1/2 inch thick. So I mean, you could argue that, you know, you're not going to shear off a half of that coupling. You know, these have machine bosses on them and in here, so this accepts some misalignment, but I've never seen these wear out. I've only seen people put these together and they drive them together. There's a gap over here when they go to bolt it up, and it blows the gearbox and motor up. So that's the number one thing I've seen with these. And these aren't gearboxes you rebuild. Like, so you're never really replacing this coupling. I've never seen a point when you need to replace this, because it's precise machine and it's aligned pretty good. So as long as you try to, I'd err on the side of caution, but if you spend some time to put it together a few times, and you can get an idea to say exactly how much you have engaged. When you put this together, and if you see a gap in between these 2 flanges and it doesn't perfectly seat, and you're going to tighten those bolts up, that's a red flag that this might be the part that's sticking out and keeping this motor up high.